United States of America has been at war since I was 11 years old. In that time, we have lost thousands of American lives, and we've psychologically ravaged countless more. Young men and women who are as far removed as one can be from the politicians sitting safely in halls of power, sending them off to war. Many of them kids who talked to the Army recruiter tabling in their high school cafeteria, or saw the commercials on TV, or signed up as their only way to pay for college before shipping out on an aircraft carrier whose cost all on its own could practically eliminate tuition and fees for every student in our country. In these conflicts, the United States war apparatus has indirectly and directly murdered hundreds and hundreds of thousands of civilians. Innocent fathers and mothers and children. We have wrecked communities and torn apart families. When we talk about gun violence in our country and the horrifying reality of assault weapons in schools and malls and houses of worship, it's often said we need to leave those weapons on the battlefield. But the taste of horror that we experience here is what our politicians have inflicted on millions of fellow human beings. Those battlefields in Iraq and Afghanistan, where we say those weapons belong, those battlefields are schools and malls and houses of worship. And these weapons don't belong there. These weapons don't belong anywhere.
Thank you.
Again and again, we're told that these wars are for our safety. And what do you know? Who is it that's repeating that claim the most frequently and the loudest? It's the politicians and corporations who have made a killing off of these wars. They have reaped incredible material gains, but we are the ones paying for their bloody profits. The wars in Iraq and Afghanistan will end up costing us somewhere in the ballpark of $6 trillion. $6 trillion. As we talk about war, let us all keep this in mind. Whenever any politician looks you in the eye and says, we don't have the money for that, they are lying. Today, we are at the very brink of an unimaginable climate catastrophe. Australia is on fire. Families are literally fleeing from their lives from walls of flame and smoke. Meanwhile, a recent study from scientists at the United Nations found that a mobilization of $300 billion could lock millions of tons of carbon back into our soil and buy humanity up to 20 years of time to address global warming. A real chance to save human civilization as we know it for less than a tenth of what we've spent to destabilize the Middle East and make all of us so much less safe. Tonight, how many Americans will go to sleep homeless on the streets? How many families are forgoing needed medical care because they can't cover the costs?
Too many.
We have people who are sick. We have kids who are hungry. We have coastal cities that are drowning because, and I mean specifically because, this system and its leaders and profiteers choose to fabricate endless war rather than invest in our future.
That's right.
We cannot let this happen again. And let's be clear, unfortunately, stopping this catastrophe does depend on us. I am not at all interested in hearing from the politicians, the pundits, the so-called experts who supported the invasion of Iraq in 2003 and the nearly 2 decades of devastation that followed. We are the experts now. action together and to continue taking action tomorrow and the day after and onwards to ensure that the greed and hate and violence of this terrifying new threat is beaten back and defeated by our hope for a real, livable future. Thank you.